Esports is finally coming to the Olympics, except it's not what you think it is, and you guys are probably already aware of what I'm talking about because a bunch of big YouTubers have already talked about it, but I'm here to do things a little bit differently. First, I am going to tell you that yes, apparently the Olympics is very much considering doing their own esports, and as you guys have probably already heard, the esports that they're picking aren't exactly esports. They are electronic sports, which, as we all know, is completely different from what the esports that we've come to know and appreciate. So I have a couple ideas of what I want to do with this video because I'm not used to doing this kind of content where I'm talking about like some kind of big news story or something like that. But I actually studied the Olympics a little bit when I was doing some college courses over at IUPUI, mostly focusing on event managing. And I'll tell you right now, some things are very concerning when it comes to, you know, whoever put this in charge, because right now, there are no partners, and I don't even know why you would even put this on here if no one is even, like, you know, sponsoring this event whatsoever. But if you check out the official Olympics website, they do have the list of their esports available. Here it is. And it is definitely, like, not what you're expecting if you are someone that is well-versed in esports. And I have two theories that I'm going to bring up here in a second. But what are the games that they're bringing? They are bringing archery, baseball, chess, cycling, dance, motorsports, sailing, taekwondo, and tennis. Yeah, only one of these is an esport, and it's chess. And I'm actually really hyped to see what's going to be going on with chess in the future. But I believe that this is the only real example of what should be happening if you're going to bring esports to this kind of medium, because one thing that is very important to keep in mind is that you are going to have this clash of people that have no idea what esports is and people that are up, that's literally their entire personality. So you're not even going to, like, just with this list, you are already not fulfilling the promise of esports to people that are already well versed in esports, because outside of chess, I don't even think anybody else have heard of any of these titles except for maybe Just Dance. Like, all of these other titles have to be like from somewhere around the world, and I don't even know what the hell regatta is. Okay, so this is just like, this is not hitting for the people that know what esports is, and for the people that are very apprehensive to bringing something like esports to the Olympics, I think this is just gonna kind of confirm their suspicions, because almost all of these could be done in person, which really doesn't, what's even the point of bringing these online? Because you could argue with chess, like, yeah, you can play chess in person, but the whole reason why chess.com is doing really well right now is because you don't need to play it in person, and you have everything that you need on the medium. For things like baseball, for things like archery, you need physical things in order to do this, and I just don't understand where the thought process is with all of this. And this is actually going to go into the next topic, where I believe this decision was made one of two different ways. One, they're just completely out of touch, and that's because half of these games were freaking, you know, are Mii Sports, and this came out in 2006. Okay, we should not be bringing Mii Sports or Wii Sports to the actual Olympics, because this was a meme that was made back in 2006. So it's just like, what is the other reason why this would happen? Well, I hate to say it in case you guys aren't aware of this, but the Olympics aren't exactly known for the greatest business practices, and this is just like one tiny example of many different ways that I could choose to articulate this point. But short and simply, they have accepted bribes in the past. They legitimately have accepted bribes in the past. It was they were charged that some of the Olympic, I think this is International Olympic Committee is what this stands for, members have been charged accepting bribes in the forms of cash, gifts, entertainment, business favors, travel expenses, medical expenses, and even college tuition for members' children. Okay, medical expenses, that's only an American thing, let's point that out. Everything else seems pretty legitimate. But the point is, they have been bribed before in the past, and there have been sketchy ways that Olympic Games have been brought to cities, and it has nothing to do with the actual competitiveness or the actual spectacle. It's all about the money that comes from it. So this is where I'm really confused, because if you're going to try and make money off of esports, you know what you could do? First of all, you don't do that because you don't make money off of esports. But if you're going to at least try, you know what you should do? You should at least Google what the top esports games are. Where is archery? Where is freaking online regatta? Like, this just doesn't make any sense to me on why you wouldn't at least, like, try to make this legitimate esports. Like, this is literally electronic sports, and that is not what esports actually is in the eyes of a gamer. It is, you know, okay, I hate to use this, but it is sporting events with video games that can be held at the highest competitive level. That's pretty much what esports is. But in any case, what exactly am I leading up to? Okay, my point is, if you are going to do this, you should do it right. And if you're going to do it right, you know what you could do? And this actually might be like something they could do in the future, but the one thing I'm predicting might be a problem is the 4-year span, because 4 years for a video game is a very long time. So depending on how frequently they would want to do something like this, maybe this idea could work out. But my idea is just to simply, let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger so you guys can understand and just read everything very simply. My idea is just do an Olympics for every single type of different esport community. So you have the free first-person shooter Olympics. You have Call of Duty, Halo, Counter-Strike, Overwatch, and Fortnite. You can add or take away as many as you want, but I believe the best way for the Olympic community to do something like this would be to directly work with the developers of these games or with companies that are used to organizing large-scale events. So that way, you know, the Olympics isn't responsible for everything. They can kind of, you know, divide the labor among people that actually know what the frick that they're doing. So that's number one. You want people that actually know what they're doing. And you could try to actually make this into something legitimate to where you could make this a real person event, or you could make it online. That is the advantage of esports. All of it could be done online. And I'm sorry, I don't know who's going to be, you know, ready to go for World Baseball Softball Confederation. Like, I don't think that's what people are wanting. I really don't know where these Olympic committee members are getting these ideas from, or how long this has been brewing. This actually might be something else to point out, is that this idea might have been brewing for a while, and this is them finally putting everything to fruition, and now it's like, you know, X amount of years too late. But that's just the kind of thing with gaming. Like, you need to be up to date with what you are presenting, and I think that being able to divide your Olympic games or your esport Olympic games into their actual genres is a great way to be able to start this. So I have 4 other genres that I'm going to show you. First of all, first-person shooting. We already went over this. But another one that you could bring is MOBA. I mean, at League of Legends, Dota, 2 of the biggest games right now. You can add some of these other MOBAs in order to try and make this as big as possible. As I keep showing off my messages here, let's just go ahead and get rid of that, because I recently had an NFT company reach out to me, and well, I definitely didn't say yes. So regardless, MOBA, you could easily bring MOBA to the Olympics very easily, just depending on how many games that you want to bring. You could bring collectible card games, online card games, trading card games, whatever you want to do. Have an in-person event or host it online. All of these could easily do this online. Hearthstone is definitely, you know, no stranger to online events. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, quite literally the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Client supported by Konami that is updating and actually running events as well. Magic the Gathering Arena, pick or choose on whether or not you want that. From what I hear, people really don't like online Magic all too much right now. You've got Pokemon. I don't know how they do this online, but the Pokemon trading card community has been having a lot of tournaments recently. And you could even add things like Teamfight Tactics or other auto chess games, or, for example, Battlegrounds for Hearthstone. You could add Hearthstone Battlegrounds or other auto chess games. And that would really, like, highlight the esports part of everything, dude. Like, I just don't understand where this is coming from. Motorsports. How the hell can you ride a motorcycle online and evaluate it on a freaking score sheet, dude? Like, what are you doing? Like, are you doing freaking backflips off of this thing or something? I don't know. I don't understand where these titles are coming from. So even if you don't want to do all of that, there's still 2 other or 3 other types of events that you could do. You could do a fighting game Olympics. I feel like this should be the #1 thing that the Olympics should be going for, because the fighting game community doesn't really have any support right now. I mean, Nintendo hates the Smash Bros. Community. I don't really think there's any way of putting that lightly. But you could add a bunch of other fighting games like Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Street Fighter, Multiverses. There's a ton of fighting games where, oh, hey, look at that. Urel, thank you for that. This is not being streamed not live. This is actually my YouTube recording, so thank you for that. That was completely random, not expecting that. But you could add other games like Skullgirls or any other of these fighting games like Soul Calibur or old-style fighting games, but I'll get to retro games and retro titles here in a second. But the point is, you have several different ways you could have done this. Several different ways. And you chose... What again? You chose sailing? I have a buddy that sails. I bet he wouldn't even be interested in watching something like this. How the hell are you... how the hell are you going to do online freaking sailing, dude? I have no freaking idea. So you could do fighting games, or you could even do something like platformers, racing, or like, you know, casual other category games. I started to run out of ideas and where to segment them, but I've already already shown you 4 different categories. So like you could have, you know, Rocket League, Fall Guys, you can do speedrunning events, everything that Twitch Rivals does. You could partner with Twitch. Imagine how big that would be and how legitimate that would make your actual esports event if you were to work with one of the biggest live streaming video game companies right now. Work with Twitch, do something with Twitch Rivals to make, you know, Twitch Rivals Olympics. That would sell itself, dude. That would seriously sell itself, but like people are either A, too scared, B, too uninformed, or C, they're in the pocket of somebody, so that way titles like freaking Taekwondo. Who does Taekwondo online unless you're with a freaking, like, unless you're doing it for your own, running out of words here. Why the hell would you do online Taekwondo? I just don't understand unless you're trying to, like, you know, do something from home. I don't know how you quantify this. How do you quantify any of these? Online tennis is literally just Wii tennis. You might as well bring Wii bowling into the freaking Olympics, dude. Like, I would rather have that. I just don't understand. But like, you could literally do anything with any of these categories. And like, the last thing that you could do is that you could turn it into something like, I guess, casual. So that way you can bring in these people that don't understand much about esports, and you could turn it into a spectacle where people want to be a part of it, either in person or at home. So that way you're actually generating some honest to God viewers that are legitimately interested in seeing where this goes. Sometimes you gotta be able to take a risk with these things, and in order to take a risk with these things meaningfully, you gotta do them in a way that most people are going to understand what's going on, but they have the capability of being able to learn like a new game, a new skill set, something new. But you got to be able to dress it in a way where they're not going to be like, oh, what is this? This isn't what I'm used to. Because those are the kind of people that watch the Olympics. My grandparents are a great example of that. My grandparents are going to look at this and they're going to be like, what the hell is online freaking cycling? What, we're doing freaking Zumba or the Peloton bikes and we're getting graded on that somehow? I think you're starting to see a point here where I've literally gone through almost every single one of these as like a casual person being like, why the hell would we X? Why would we do any of these? So it's like with these other events, you could do speedrunning or retro gaming, kind of like I suggested in the other one, or you could do casual events for games like Fall Guys, similar to what's going on with Twitch Rivals, except on a more casual level instead of bringing in content creators or making it a big spectacle. You could do like a gaming convention at the Olympics. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Like you have like DreamHack, for example. DreamHack does have these big esports competitions that are happening with the biggest names in prospective communities, but they also have, you know, a way to recognize that not everyone's going to be interested in esports, so why not just make it, you know, this event to where people can come by, they can bring their own games, they can meet other gamers, they can play in a location where a bunch of other people are playing the same games, meet like-minded individuals. The list goes on, dude. You could turn this into the Olympics gaming convention, sponsored by or partnered with a company that has done this kind of stuff before. DreamHack was the very first example, but you could go with ESL or name a big company, dude. Name something that creates mice for gamers. They probably would be willing to work with you as long as you know what you're doing, but we don't know what the freak these guys are doing right now. So like official tournament hosting for X company with a fee that is not on the starting list of games. So like case in point with this one, in case you have, you know, oh, we have Hearthstone that wants to be a part of it. Cool, we know about Hearthstone. We have people at Blizzard that we're in contact with. We can get Hearthstone. But say someone like, I'm just going to think of a random card game, Shadowverse or Gwent or the Bazaar, if Raynad will complete it. If they wanted to be a part of this, they could, like, you know, submit some kind of application, talk to somebody about, you know, the benefits of bringing their brand, and they could just take it from there. Or you could do promotion with companies showcasing new products, literally what happens at every single gaming convention. Essentially, the point of this video is if you're wanting to do Olympic esports, you need to make it similar to what esports actually is, and that is right now in the forms of a large-scale competitive events, a large gathering of players for either casual or for competitive reasons, as well as like a reason to tune in. And I'm sorry, but no one is gonna tune in to freaking tennis. No one's gonna tune in to me tennis because this isn't 2006 anymore. So if someone on the Olympic committee happens to be watching this video right now, I'm gonna ask you, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing with this? The only esport here is chess, and I'm legitimately looking forward to that, and I challenge the Olympic Committee to realize the massive difference in viewership when this actually happens between chess and quite literally everything else. Chess is an international phenomenon. It's a well-respected game. It's one of the best esport examples that could have been on this list, that actually is on this list, but everything else missed the mark completely. You should not be rummaging through this like a diamond in the rough to get the one game that actually is gonna get spectators. But I don't know, dude. I think I've ranted enough, and I've talked about all my points in their entirety. But I'm gonna end this video with somewhat of a positive note, to where I think this is potentially a really good thing, because the idea of the Olympics being esports based at all was completely a joke, you know, five years ago, even like 2 years ago, dude. Like, no one thought that something like this would be happening. And this makes me wonder how long they were working on it, because if they were working on it for only a little bit amount of time, then just imagine they put a little bit more effort and worked with companies that knew what they were doing. Making profits in esports is one of the hardest things that you can do in this field right now. But if you're gonna make the attempt, you need to bring the titles that people are aware of. I'm sorry, but no one cares about World Dance Sport Federation unless, I don't know, unless there's someone in chat or someone down in the comments below that wants to tell me that they are a World Dance Federation pro and they can't wait to be a part of this event. So what do you guys think? I don't think I'm, you know, really spouting anything that's like too like, oh my god, he's insane, why would you come up with these ideas, this will never happen, versus, you know, some of these are actually kind of good ideas. I like these ideas. But I'm gonna end this video saying that it's extremely out of touch, or something is going on behind the scenes to where they know this isn't what people were expecting, but this might just be the way that they do the very first esport in order to see how good it is. What I really hope doesn't happen is that if this event fails, that they're going to completely scrap the idea of being like, well, this is what happens for when the Olympics tries to go esport. It's like, no, dude, you didn't take the legitimate steps necessary to call this an esport series. This is an esport series, not chess.com advertising, dude. And we definitely aren't interested in freaking archery. What is tic-tac-bow? Is that where you fire a freaking bow and arrow and play a game of tic-tac-toe? You're telling me legitimate tic-tac-toe is an esport in the Olympics? I'm sorry, but that's not the Olympics, and that's not esports in my eyes. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I know this isn't my usual type of video, but I needed another day to gather clips before I started making some more Hearthstone content. But regardless, I actually like the idea of doing some videos like this, because I like talking about stuff like this that's, you know, in the actual news. And who knows, maybe I could recommend something that maybe can change this to a little bit. I mean, what's going on right now, it's not going to be a success. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. But I believe that they were to at least, you know, divide the categories a little bit and do their research, literally do the Google search of the top esports games. It is not that difficult, dude. And you will notice that, unfortunately, chess isn't on here, but none of these games would have ever been on this list. So Olympics, if you're gonna do Olympic esports right, you better bring someone that knows what they're talking about, because clearly whoever you're listening to is, well, for for lack of a better example, they're literally trapped in 2006. But thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel to be notified about any of our future updates. And if you like content like this, feel free to let me know that you want more of my stupid opinions. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. We'll see you for the next one.